Hey everyone, this says to graph the linear equation using the slope and the y-intercept. So here are the steps for doing that. First thing we have to do is put the equation in the form y equals mx plus b. For what's probably an obvious reason, if we're going to use the slope and the y-intercept, then when you put it in this form, the slope m and the y-intercept b, they're jumping right at us. They're staring us in the face. Once we do that, we're going to plot that y-intercept. That's going to be our first point on the graph. And then we're going to use the slope, which we know is the change in y over the change in x, or the rise over the run. We'll use that to get our second point, because remember we need 2 points to draw a straight line. So here's how we'll look for this problem. Remember, our first step is to get it in that form. So I got to solve it for y. Well, we subtract 7x from both sides. That gets us 4y by itself. 4y is equal to negative 7x plus 28. We get rid of that 4 in front of the y, so we divide everything by 4. And that gives us y is equal to negative 7/4 x plus 7. Alright, remember that was step 1 only, so now we got to use the slope and the y-intercept to draw the graph. Well, we start with the y-intercept, so we're going to plot this. Our y-intercept is 7. So let's put that on the graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, by the way, you don't have to do this on graph paper first. You could just go straight to my math lab and do it. But I can explain it a little easier this way, and it's also a good way to just double check your work. Okay, so now we're going to use the slope, negative 7/4. Now, the fraction is negative, so we can write it as negative 7 over positive 4, or the other way around, because either way it would be a negative 7/4. I'm going to put the negative on top, and I'll show you why in just a second. Because remember, this is the rise over the run. So we know the change in y is negative 7. So we got to change it in the y direction, which is up and down. Negative 7. If we'd made that a positive 7, I'd have to go up 7 spaces, and well, I'd run off the graph. So I run out of room. So if I go negative 7 in the y direction, it just means go 7 spaces down on the y-axis. Well, that puts me back here at the origin, actually. Now the change in x, the run, is a positive 4. So that means I'm going to move to the right because it's positive 4 spaces. And that puts us right here. So our second point is this one right here, which is 4, 0. And the first point was the y-intercept 0, 7.